welcome to the Starting Over Podcast. I am your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and this is the show where we look at the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of heroclix. Oh man, it's been a while. Spider-Man sets out. Finished playing a sealed. I wanted to play a sealed before I did the set review, and I know for some of you all that might seem a little strange. But the main reason I wanted to do that is I wanted to get the feel of the set, just getting a couple of rounds in me before I made other big huge claims about things. And I gotta say, from what I've seen, there are some interesting developments in this set. And when we take a look at just standard meta, I think we're going to have a mostly positive bag from this set, but there are going to be some things that I do want to point out to people to sort of be mindful of. All right, so like normal, what we're going to do is we're going to just primarily look at the positive and somewhat avoid the negative. And if there's any honorable mention things, I'll just go ahead and bring it up. All right, so first and foremost, I want to bring up Iron Man, 002 Iron Man. Now, the main reason that I want to bring up Iron Man, and I'm skipping over Spider-Man to start, is because Iron Man functionally is giving us a lot in a very reasonably priced package. First off, and this is something I did overlook, has improved targeting, hindering. So that is something. Next up, she has. I've got advanced repulsors too. When Iron Man hits with a ranged attack after resolution, each hit target is knocked back 4 squares. And Iron Man has 2 targets. 2 damage, but 2 targets. So here's the key thing is you just have to hit. You don't necessarily have to do damage. You just have to hit. And with the 10 attack and the perplex, you can really mess with people if you land your attack. Adding in Spider-Man team ability, there's a lot more shenanigans that you can do. On my team, I had Hydra TA to utilize, so it wasn't that bad to say oh hey, now my Ghost Spider has 2 Hydra characters to up its attack. Also, sidestep is also another positive thing that allows Iron Man to get into place. Now, some of you might say, well, Dark Logos, you're going to talk about the lower dial. It's well, the lower dial is for the secret identity, and I don't necessarily want to spend too much time on it other than to say, as a secret identity, it's okay. Yes, you have perplex and you have the repulsor thing and you have the sidestep and all that's good. 1 damage is not that great, even with the perplex, and you're primarily just still using the figure as a perplex spot. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to Iron Fist. I'm just going to be short and sweet on Iron Fist. Iron Fist is good if you can afford to just have Iron Fist just sit there and meditate and gather chi tokens. That's it. That's the only advantage of Iron Fist. And then he can just unleash a bunch of attacks on his opponent. Other than that, Iron Fist is, in my opinion, is really not that good. All right, skip Prowler. Black Cat's really not that good. And I know some people are going to say, but she has the ability to mess with your rolls, and I'm like, yes, she does, but she has no prob, which gives her a huge disadvantage. All right, so let's go ahead and keep going. Next up for us to look at is Venom, number 7A. And I think the main reason that we want to look at Venom is you're getting 6 clicks at 65 points, which is better than Rebirth. And I think they're starting to deal with like their Rebirth problem. That Rebirth characters should not have been 75, 85, or 100 points. They should have been costed around what we're seeing right now in Spider-Man and Venom, Absolute Carnage. Yeah, that's where they should have been priced at. And so this is the positive where I can say, WizKids, you're getting the clue. Spider-Man TA plus Indom, and you have traded plasticity, shape change, improved movement, ignores hindering, elevated. 65 points, this is good. He has lethal protector once per attack. When an adjacent friendly character takes damage, give Venom a protector token free. Remove a protector token to make a close attack that deals penetrating damage. So this is not a bad deal when we're dealing with Venom. And then we're going to go over to 7B, which is Venom Prime. And so with this character, you have a bunch of cool things. You still have an improved move, ignores, elevated, and hindering. You also have the Symbiote Codex, 100 plasticity, shape change. When Venom KOs an opposing character, after resolutions, heal 1 click. If that character has Codex keyword, heal 3 clicks instead. So this is nice. Driven Mad might buy null, charge, but do not have a speed. When Venom uses it, after resolution, deal 1 penetrating damage to each adjacent character, friendly and opposing. Now, this can allow you to sort of burst down a bunch of retails that were used as taxis that have insanely high defense. You can go after their little buddies instead. And so I think that is really good. It has a stop click, which is free. Roll a d6, give Venom an action token, 2 through 5. Choose 1 to last to your next turn. Impervious or regeneration 6. Heal 2 clicks. So I think that is quite good. All right, let's keep on moving on. Oh man. Bombshell for 40 points is not bad, but I would not recommend it. Number 9, Bombshell. Let's see. Okay, Carnage minion. You're probably just primarily using these with Carnage, but if you're not wanting to use these with Carnage and you just want to utilize them in general, they're not bad monsters. They're not. With Sidestep, Precision Strike, and Battle Fury, they're pretty useful. Now, the problem I think is getting them into play, and that's it. But you're primarily buying Carnage minions for Carnage. Toxin is fun. Now, I play Toxin on my team. The fact that he can like leap climb and make an attack is one of the more positive things about Toxin. And he comes with the PD ability, which I feel is a little bit counterproductive. Like they should have just dropped the PD team ability and maybe shaved 5 or 6 points off of Toxin. I think he would have been even more of a positive impact on the set. But I actually think he would have been competitive. So yeah, I hate to say it, the PD team ability is a little bit inflationary, but Toxin is not a bad piece for you to play in locals. All right, so let's start off with Harry Leland as I think our first first major problem in this set in terms of the autonomous. And there being so much autonomous on standard figures, I think that's something that we need to actually look at realistically as autonomous on its impact on the game. So one of the key elements that we have to consider is that we have a medic that has willpower plus autonomous and can equip any number of rings plus has Spider-Man team ability. That's a lot for 30 points. That's an insane amount for 30 points. And on top of that, Harry Osborn can secret identity into another character. And that is where I think that's where the issue comes in. It's like, oh, okay, I could KO Harry. Oh, nope. He's going to transform into this other character. and that makes him that much more dangerous. So yes, the other character he transforms into does not have uh, autonomous, but we have to sort of just keep that in mind that this character overall is able to act without, much concern. Now you can say, oh look, Dark Logos, he doesn't have sidestep, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that, and that's completely fine. But the fact that we have an 11 attack supporting character that I can give Liar Ring to, and this 11 attack character now has a 10 range mind control, 8 or 10, I forgot, mind control as an autonomous action. That's something for us to be concerned about. Now, he has Spider-Man family, and he has Dark Avengers. But again, everything is Spider-Man family, so this is just nothing but a win. So these things, I think we have to be super mindful of. All right, next up is Mary Jane Watson, and again, she's another one of our autonomous characters. And while she doesn't do anything inherently, her being able to turn into, I think it's like Marvella, and Iron Man, is pretty good. And then she also has the ability to do a power action and create paparazzis. And these paparazzis are also autonomous, and they're also a bit BS. And I'm not hating on it in the sense of, this is going to cripple the game. But more like, you're able to generate a character that's able to, autonomous character that can generate more autonomous characters. And I think that is a problem. I think that is a huge problem. And if you don't solve for that, you're going to be you're going to have a lot of major issues. The other thing that I think, just automatically just kicks in is the fact that she has shape change and she has Spider-Man team ability, which makes her a lot harder to deal with, and there's a lot of value that you're just getting for 15 points. So again, Mary Jane Watson is like next up on your buy. Eddie Brock, he is okay. He is also autonomous, but he is one of those characters that I feel like that creates a minor disruption, because now I have an autonomous character that's 35 points that doesn't have necessarily a ton of range, but is able to just sort of roll up on you and be like 10 attack, 4 damage, RCE, around the corner I shoot you. And I think that has a interesting notation for us to think about. Because while he is, short clicked and he can turn into Toxin or Venom, he still has this ability to come back and either fulfill either a range roll or a melee roll. So I have to put it back to, it's like, this character is very good. Oh, hey, you're going to KO me. All right, well, guess what? I'm going to turn into Toxin and I'm going to leap climb and punch you in the face. So, like I said, there's a lot of good here. I think there's just something that you need to be on top of. Peter Parker, with his secret identity being Spider-Man, it's like, okay. You're more having him on the sideboard than anything else. So you're not necessarily having him on your main force the majority of the time. But again, now I can do Liar Ring shenanigans with Peter Parker if I really want to. All right. Next up is Aaron Davis. Aaron Davis, I think, is our last autonomous character in our low rarity. And so we have Underworld TA. We have 10 attack, 2 damage per plex. he's going to have utility. He could turn into Iron Spider or Prowler. Like, both are decent options for you to use. So yeah, like, there's no real downside. Unfortunately, well, I'll take it back. His keywords are sort of crap. But other than that, if you're looking for a decent character to utilize, he's not bad. All right. Let's go ahead and look at our uncommons. And what we're going to do is we're going to start. We're going to start, in my opinion, with Steel Serpent. And I know that we dropped past a lot of stuff, and there's Deathlock, and there is Demigoblin, and all this other stuff. They're not bad. They're not bad. But having played with Steel Serpent, I think Steel Serpent has potential. He's at that B- grade. He does cool stuff for your teams. I think one of the main problems that comes in is that you need to have like a melee focused situation. And this set is primarily giving you a lot of close range and a lot of melee. So, first off, he has Summon the Chief from Others, which is once per turn when an adjacent friendly character is damaged by an opponent's attack, give Steel Serpent a chi token. Alright, so that's... it really should just be whenever an adjacent friendly character... Wow. It should just be when an adjacent friendly character takes damage that you get a chi token. Because you already have a damage limitation. So, but that part is, again, WizKids trying to balance or limit down an uncommon. So that's fair. I would also argue that, and I know this sounds a little weird or nitpicky, Iron Fist has the... If he had Iron Fist's ability, where he could just sit and gather them, he would be a lot more dangerous than Iron Fist. And I know that sounds weird when I say it like that. But you have to understand, like, he's using leadership and empower like 80% of the time. Or Hydra. And if he could just sort of sit there and absorb chi tokens, and then your flyer just dumps him down and be like, now do your thing, I think he would be a lot better. But he's a decent character. He's not horrible. Something for you to consider. All right, next up is Hammerhead, and I'm gonna say it like this, just straight up. You're playing Hammerhead at 30 points. Okay, you're playing Hammerhead at 30 points. Now, first off, you're gonna be like, Hammerhead, why Hammerhead? So we have improved movement, destroys blocking. All right. So then, yet another Sinister 6. When an adjacent friendly character with the Sinister Syndicate keyword begins to move, they can use improved movement. This character can move through blocking. So improved movement ignores blocking. Okay, during that move. All right, now, some of you might say, so what? Why is this a big deal? Well, it's the fact that we're going to be dealing with a lot of barrier. And we'll see why shortly. And the truth of the matter is, the fact that I can give Sinister Syndicate characters improved movement destroys blocking gives them a huge advantage against various different characters. So, yeah, like, when we're looking at, like, Ancient Hold and King's Tomb being maps that are game-defining, having the ability to give your Sinister Syndicate characters, if you are going down that route, the ability to ignore blocking terrain for movement is going to be essential. Now, I like I said, I wouldn't play the higher points, even though the higher points gives you that damage power. Um, but I mean, not damage attack power, but I don't think it's worth it. All right. Next up, what we're going to be looking at is where did she go? Where to go? Norman Osborn. Again, another one of these autonomous fellows. And Norman Osborn is a big deal because Norman Osborn has a ton of keywords: politician, power elite, which that one does suck. It needs every help it can get, all the help it can get. Cabal, Sinister Syndicate, Thunderbolts, like all these cool things that you can sort of do, and not so cool things that you can sort of do. And you have Secret Identity, Green Goblin, Iron Patriot, Red Goblin. Like you can turn into all those things. Um, so you have I'm the one in charge. Opposing characters within 4 squares can't use Mastermind. Now, this is a bigger deal when dealing with really one character right now in the game than it is for dealing with Mastermind in general. Like, this is a big deal for dealing with Darkseid, and that's realistically it. And if you're already trying to deal with Darkseid, you're going to be playing Chase Widow. And Chase Widow just creates problems for Darkseid. So, yeah, like I just look at that and I sort of scratch my head and think to myself, like, all right, he's not bad. He's not broken. What he shuts down is okay. He has leadership and outwit for 40 points. Autonomous, Sinister Syndicate. So I think overall you're mainly going to be using this with Sinister Syndicate. His ability to transform is not bad whatsoever. All right, next up is Gwen Stacy. Again, autonomous, charge, exploit weakness, cool trait to turn into Ghost Spider. How loud do you want it trait? Opposing characters within 4 squares can't use super senses. And there you have it, people. This is why we're going to see major game changes from this set. And in particular, they're coming from the autonomous characters. But in particular, Gwen Stacy is probably number one best girl, to quote Mother's Basement, in this set. At 25 points, she already has a decent damage with exploit weakness. Now, only because of exploit weakness. She shuts down just flat super senses within 4, not even requiring line of fire. And the fact that she has the ability to transform into Ghost Spider means she isn't just dead points. So overall, she's a keeper, and she's going to be causing more problems in the game in the future. Just the flat turning off super senses is going to cause your opponent a ton of problems, and also add in like, hey, look, I also have Spider-Man TA. So again, going back to like, I can copy Skrulls, I can copy PD, I can copy Hydra, all these things that are very useful for you as a player when utilizing this figure, So I just have to say, unfortunately, like, this character is a bit broke. Negating super senses for 25 points, that's too cheap. I know something you're going to say, but, you could use outwit though. And I understand you can use outwit though. But the fact is, you're getting a lot for 25 points, and Spider-Man family is the new biggest keyword. And because of that, she is a multi-character aura outwit, specifically for senses, which is going to be really dominant was going to be dominant after this set came out. But Gwen just says, nah, fam, that's all gone. All right. So Gwen Stacy is a must buy. Next up is Flash Thompson. Flash Thompson is the inverse of Eddie Brock. He is a guy that you really are going to use aggressively. But the problem I feel more with with Flash is that you have to be up close and personal. Now he does have the symbiote ability trait, so you could just drop him on top of people and be like, "All right, I'm gonna poison you, and next turn I'm gonna close combat expert you, and I'm gonna whittle you down with Eddie." But Flash. But I think the main issue is that you're trying to utilize Agent Venom and Agent Anti Venom more so. But I still can't overlook his sidestep poison and his close combat expert. Like there's just a lot there. I don't think it's the worst. I think that you need to have taken the first dial here with Flash and replace it with Eddie Brock and vice versa. And I think you would have had two very strong autonomous figures that would have been ridiculous to deal with. Okay. All right. Next up is Jason McAdale. All right. Jason McAdale again is autonomous. And if you notice where I'm seeing, I'm trying to point out this theme that our meta stuff is autonomous. He is an 11 attack. He has range combat expert. Opposing characters within 4 squares can't use the Mystic Team ability. This is sort of useful, but it's mainly useful for bigger games or Golden Age games. In particular, on Golden Age games, even though Mystics cannot be wildcarded anymore, there's a lot of shenanigans with Mystics. So, yeah, having him is not a bad idea. Next up is Daniel Burkhart. And he turned to Mysterio. So, or Jack-O-Lantern. But primarily, he shuts off stealth within 4 squares. And this character, in my opinion, creates a major problem for Chase Black Widow and anybody that's relying on stealth as one of their major defenses, because he has scientist keyword, and you could just load him up on a scientist team and be like, "Hello, fam. What are you doing over there? Get out the bushes, Captain Marvel." And boom, your characters are getting lit up. So again, I think the concern of, oh, I can't see through stealth, I think that goes away. So Daniel Becker, he solves for the problem of dealing with stealth. And I know we had characters like Wolverine from Dark Phoenix, but no one really latched onto him, which is really sad. So I'll just leave it at that. I know as much as I wanted that piece to be good, he never really panned out the way I wanted. All right, so let's go ahead and look at Agent Venom. And I think Agent Venom is one of the cool characters that offers us a little bit of potential. And I was also hoping that he had Fantastic Four. But he doesn't. He does have Guardians of the Galaxy, though. And Avengers, and Soldier, and Spider-Man family. Alright, he has improved movement ignores elevated. He has improved targeting, that he can make ranged attacks while adjacent to opposing characters. Overall, those parts are great. He has, at the beginning of your turn, you may roll a d6, move Agent Venom up to half the result. If it's your first turn, move him up to the result instead. This gives him a good bit of deployment. I really don't like the fact that they're always doing that with Agent Venom. They're just like, he has a mini deploy. Because to me, it makes it so that he can't utilize some of his better abilities. But that's just me. So he has plasticity of shape change, and then he also has super senses and toughness later on. Unfortunately, if you're looking at Agent Venom, if you can see through stealth, you're more likely going to have some form of penetrating damage or some way of just negating the stealth, and he's just going to get one shot at. So I really like what they wanted to do here, and I wanted to give this character a shout out as a movement in the right direction. They just need to sort of refine it down. There we go. Just need to refine it down. She Venom is not bad for 60 points, but is not necessarily optimal. So you really need to be thinking about, if you do pick her up, where does she fit on your team, on a Codex or a monster team? I think that's it for... that's it for the uncommons. All right. We're progressing pretty fast. I'm progressing really fast this set. Shoot, it might be under 2 hours for the review. Next up is Green Goblin, and Green Goblin is primarily there for the pumpkin bombs and the fact that he can start blowing up massive amounts of terrain with the pumpkin bombs. And then yet another Sinister Six adjacent friendly characters with the Sinister Syndicate keyword modify their attack by +1 or +2 if targeting a character with the Spider-Man family keyword. And this is important because everybody in their mama is going to be Spider-Man family. So Green Goblin gives you an attack boost for your Sinister Syndicate. Unfortunately, they did not give us like forming the new Sinister Six, and so you don't have somebody that can adopt a character that's 50 points or less, or even 100 points or less, into the Sinister Syndicate to be useful for them to take advantage of this. Because realistically, with so many different teams turning into Spider-Man family, I must say, like, Green Goblin would have been a very strong counterplay to that, but unfortunately they didn't give us the rest of the tools to solve the problem of, hey, this team just adopted a whole category or multiple categories at a time, and there's no consequence. Okay, so but still, Green Goblin, definitely check him out. Mysterio, I think Mysterio is gangbusters fun. He has a lot of potential. So for 50 points, you get an outwit. Mysterio may start the game with Illusion Generator equipped, and oh buddy, Illusion Generator is a whole bunch of fun. Jake's friendly characters with the Sinister Syndicate keyword can use shape change, which is nice-ish. Like, that's not bad, but again, it's not the best. What horrors do you see in the smoke cloud? Once per turn, Mysterio can either use Incapacitate or Mind Control as free, but only to make a close attack and only to target characters occupying his smoke markers regardless of adjacency. So, it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. So, there you go. But yeah, Mysterio with his little illusions are really good, in my opinion. I think that you definitely want to have that. All right, so let's talk about next up is Marvella. Yeah, we're skipping Ghost Spider. I know. Yeah. Marvella is a problem because, again, she transforms from Mary Jane Watson, but she gets barrier. And, the transform has charge, super strength, and energy shield. That's not necessarily a problem. Well, it sort of is, because you have a 15-point character that potentially can go and smack you for 5 damage. and then help another character out. But going back to Marvella has sidestep, flight symbol, but only if Marvella has no action tokens. And Marvella has the ability. Marvella has the ability to just put up barrier. Now, the fact that she's a 15-point barrier in cap and enhancement, that's a lot to deal with. And I think that's, plus you have Spider-Man family, so there's more shenanigans there. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And she also has, Peter, you can be an extra in my superhero movie. When establishing theme teams, characters on your starting force with a celebrity keyword gain Spider-Man family. Like, her in particular is probably one of the more destabilizing characters because of her cost of entry. Like, at 15 points, that's too cheap for that trait. All right, but yeah, she's strong. She is super duper strong. Iron Patriot is only there for the secret identity, for being worth noting. Hobgoblin, sort of the same thing. Yeah, it's just mainly the secret identity. Jack-o'-lantern, he sucks. Like, you're not using Jack-o'-lantern. He's overcosted. All right. Next up is Spot. Having played against this, I want to say something about Spot. Spot potentially can be one of the most devastating figures that I think people are completely underrating on its utility, for the pure fact that it only really has outwit to sort of keep itself ahead of the game. But I want to point out something that's really stupid with Spot. You could TK out Spot, okay? And phasing teleport as free but half speed. So you move 10, so you phase 5, and if you perplex up movement, you could phase 6, okay? And then you're able to do Death of 1,000 Spots. Flurry. When Spot makes a close attack, he may target an opposing character within 4 squares, regardless of adjacency. When an opposing character targets Spot with a close attack and misses, after resolution, deal that character 1 damage. Now, so again, when you miss, that includes super senses or shape change, which you can receive through Sinister Syndicate. But the big deal is this. You use Spot and you perplex him up to 11 or a 12 attack, and you get him around 4 damage and then let him loose. Now, is this a Vulture level of dumb? No. But this is realistically quite devastating because he could flurry you behind a wall and there's nothing that you could do to stop it. And, given that he could get the proper stat bumps, it can be pretty ridiculous. So overall, I think Spot is worth thinking about. I realistically feel that way. Like, he is worth thinking about. He may not be the best figure, but he is worth looking at. So, functionally, yeah, like, that's it for the rares. I know it's like, wait, you're skipping over so many characters. It's like, yeah, I am. It's realistically not worth going into. All right. Let's talk Absolute Carnage. And he just has too much. With the plasticity shape change from his item, his healing. There's a lot. Now, does that mean like his 200 point version is meta? No, I'm not necessarily saying that. But I am definitely saying, like, for 125 or 60 points, he has a lot of utility. that is worth utilizing and worth considering. And considering it comes with his object for free, that you have shape change and you have the ability to heal. Um, it's a lot of solid stuff. So I would definitely say get Absolute Carnage. I endorse him at his lower dials. You can play him at 200, just not for a 300 point meta. 400 point games, I think he's sort of, again, devastating. All right. Next up, we have Null, which is a really important character. The first symbiote, my shadow, Null may start the game with the Necro Sword, which Necro Sword is dumb. The God of Symbiote's plasticity, but has breakaway +3. And opposing characters have breakaway -3 instead. Shape change, but succeeds on a 4 through 6. When Null KOs an opposing character, after resolution, heal 2. Now, his heal is a lot lower, but at the same time, you don't have to have a codex for him to heal 3 or anything like that. Unbrackenness, stealth, smoke cloud is free, but generate obscuring terrain markers instead. Free, place Null in a square of obscuring terrain within 4 squares. So, yeah, he's okay. He has the ability to sort of bamf and then get some heavy shots in. At 250 points, he's pretty ridiculous. At 125, I am not sold on him as a character. All right, next up, we have the Doppelganger Prime. And while I do think that the normal Doppelganger is not bad for what you get, I mean, 60 points, charge, flurry, blades, battle fury. He's not bad. I just think there's a couple of traits in there that are a little bit inflating his value, especially the maternal bond. That's not necessary. So let's go ahead and look at Doppelganger Prime. First off, improved movement ignores elevated and hindering, which the other Doppelganger does not have. So that is key. Maximum Carnage trait, just allowing it to do additional damage. Symbiote, Codex Hunter, Plasticity, Shape Change. When Doppelganger KOs a opposing character after resolutions, heal 1 click. Then if they have the Codex keyword, heal 3 clicks instead, which is really good, which unfortunately you sort of did want the Battle Fury in that case if you are a Codex Hunter, but yeah. All right, Perfect Killing Machine, Charge, Flurry. Once per turn when Doppelganger uses Flurry, if he hits with both attacks after resolutions, he can immediately use Charge at no cost, but only a target character he has not attacked this turn. Now, in my opinion, that's a little bit jank, and in the sense of it should have, it should allow you to get your third attack in. Now allowing you to use charge gives you a little bit more flexibility, but oh man, there's definitely there's pros and cons to that. Then you have your combat reflexes, super senses, toughness combo. Overall, for 65 points, this is a very well put together prime. I just personally feel that, and I know this is going to sound a little bit bad. I wish he didn't have Empower. I wish he had something else, or lost Empower and shaved down his cost to like 60 or even 50 points, or give him an extra click. The Empower for this character, I don't see it as a team player character, and I know they're trying to make these melee characters team player characters, whereas I would just argue, like, no, like just stop that. Or if you don't want to do that, don't increase his defense, increase his attack for his charge flurries clicks to be 12 straight. Yeah, drop in power, give him 12 straight, or give him a 11 attack on click 4. I would also would like to see that. So there you go. But overall, Doppelganger Prime is the man. Then let's move on to number 54, Spider-Man. Batman, Prime Batman with the punch. I experienced this. I got punched and dealt 3 damage to my entire team. It was a little bit more devastating than I thought it was going to be. So, yeah, like, it's pretty good. Definitely when you start talking about getting your outwit with your hypersonic, and there's a lot of cool stuff that you can just do. So, I recommend looking at this Spider-Man, and even with the Peter Parker and him being able to turn into this Spider-Man, it just is like, yeah, you're getting a lot of value for that. All right, so now I will say this: the J. Jonah Jameson Paul can be a liability, but if you have like a character on your team like Dark Phoenix, she's just going to be super happy to have that. Oh, I'm guaranteed to go past my stop click. Yay! So there's that. All right, next up is Superior Spider-Man. I think he's the one that comes with the Waldo arms. You primarily just want him for the Waldo arms. Like, I'm just going to be honest. Yeah. But as a click, he is okay. Charge, Flurry, Improved Movement, Ignores, Elevated, and Hindering, Perplex, Precision Strike. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff that is nice with Superior Spider-Man. So, yeah. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to look at these super rares and, these additional super rares. I think that this is where the set just starts to take off for me. And you can see how they're starting to counter meta play just a little bit. So we're looking at Venom Captain Marvel automatically. I think she is there to deal with the barrier meta that I feel is coming. So hypersonic speed, invincible, prob. And I know some of you are going to say, why wouldn't I just run Captain America in the Avengers, Captain Marvel instead? And I'm like, hey, bear with me. Give me a reason. Like, let me explain some things. So first off, she has Avengers Codex, Cosmic, Guardians of the Galaxy, Kree, and Monster keyword. Okay, so there's a lot of different teams that she can be on. Next, she has Improved Movement, Destroys Blocking, which is huge. It's real huge for what I think we're going to be seeing in the future. Plasticity of shape change because of symbiote. Call in help from the Venomverse, which has great synergy with Venom Doctor Strange. Then higher, further, hungrier, steal energy as a trait. So you have an incentive to sort of like keep those melee attacks up and also sort of stay in there. And then Tongue Slash, Quake, Venom, Captain Marvel deals penetrating damage. Now, again, she has steal energy. So there are a multitude of different equipments that can just make her annoying. You can try to, I would argue, make her more offensive by, like utilizing like exospecs and be like, all right, I hypersonic speed, now I'm stealth. Or try to, and you could go like either Cosmic Cube or Blue Cube, or you could go Red Cube. I know some people say that's expensive. I'm like, yeah, it is, but it would have some advantages. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I think that this this figure definitely is going to appear on the radar for meta play. Next up is Venom Doctor Strange. I'm going to say something, and I know a lot of people aren't shocked. Just play him at 45 points. At 45 points, you get everything that you get. You get improved targeting outside of adjacency. You get summon help from the Venomverse, which is slightly different, where you can bring in Venomverse people from the sideline out. That is a pretty good deal. Okay. They turn into like ID cards. But let me read it. It says when Dr. Venom hits an opposing character, if no character has been placed this turn after resolutions, you may roll a d6 3 through 6. Choose a character on your sideline whose name includes Venom of equal or less points to place adjacent. This game, that character can't be carried, replaced, or be replaced, and returns your sideline. So never mind. I take that back. I see why you're going to be running the 90 point if you're trying to use that trait. Otherwise, for symbiote, you have plasticity, shape change, and then it was my decision to bring you all together: leadership and probability control. So you have functionally for your monster teams, and I want to point this out. You have a TK plus a leadership prob for 45 points, and that, in my opinion, is big and sort of, and I'm saying sort of, reduces the value of Cap Venom. Our Venom Cap. Yeah. So I'm just saying something to think about, because for 5 points less, I know you're not making your entire monster squad a theme team, but you are getting prob in leadership in TK for 5 points less. So it's something to think about. Next up is Venom Groot. Venom Groot is Valeria 1.5. Valeria 1.5, and with a lot more survivability built in. So I will say to WizKids, look, we know you're not going to nerf Valeria because you don't believe that this is a problem. Okay, then please fix knockback and let it check once for these types of powers versus for every square. That's it. That's all I would ask if you're not going to fix this. But definitely this is going to be a meta piece for one main reason. I can have three of the Venom Groots in one Valeria, and I can do one attack to get them, do whatever I need to do to get them off invincible, and then proceed to just start flipping them. And now it's like, oh, I flipped you once, you take 4 damage. And it's like, oh, yep, that just happened. It's like no attacks. So I see Venom Groot's GL or Hyper Taxi's Valeria being something. I mean, it just is going to be. It's too much of stupid. It's just too much stupid. You carry 3 characters, and you get Valeria boops, Valeria moves using Influence Ring. You take 4 damage, and if she's able to get the knockback, it's like, oh, boop. You take 4 more, you're dead. Like, wash, rinse, repeat, and I think that's a little bit much. But like I said, WizKids doesn't see a problem with it. So there's nothing I can do. Let's keep going. Next up, that I think is a very good character, is Red Goblin. Now, I enjoy Red Goblin at 50 points. I also see his value at 110. I know some people are going to say, I don't understand why, but it's the fact that he is a double equip. And that gives him a wonderful starting advantage that not many characters really ever have. I don't even think any character in the game has ever had. And I want to see how this experiment goes out. If people do not move towards him, that's fine. I think that's fair. But I think that he has a lot to offer the game space. But anyway. But yeah, I think overall Red Goblin is good. Now you're also going to be using him as a secret identity, so he's going to have additional value as well. So there you go on that. Next up is Spider-Man 2099. Now, Spider-Man 2099 has had like a weird history in this game. He's been meta, he's been not meta. But this version has a lot of cool stuff. So first off, he gets a dimensional watch, which is okay. Then he has, I've never done anything like this before. And now this is at 100. Knockback. When Spider-Man 2099 is given a move action and moves 5 squares or less, after resolutions, he can use Flurry at no cost. That's nice. That is really nice. So the fact that he can just move 5 squares or less, and then he just says, "Yep, Flurry." I like that. I like that a lot. Not only that, he has blades, so you can combine that with blades. You can utilize your outwit, get into place, use your outwit, use Flurry blades. You also have Spider-Man TA. So at 100 points, he's not bad. I don't think he's going to be top tier meta, but he definitely is B- meta for locals. Like he's good for locals. He's not good on big tournament stage. Then we're looking at Spider-Man 2099 at 50 points, and there we go. This is our winner here. You still get to start with the Dimensional Travel Watch, which I think is good. Then you get Charged, Poison, in Perplex, plus Indom, plus Spider-Man Team Ability. 4 clicks, but that's a lot, in my opinion, for what you're getting. So I think there's a lot of value there. So definitely check that out. All right, so that's the super rares. We're going to go through the chases rather at a decent speed. And I'm just saying, like, I'm almost done with the set. And I know a lot of you are like, wow, that normally doesn't happen. And I'm not even trying to rush. So next we have Gwen of Arc. And Gwen of Arc has improved movement, characters in Elevated. Which, okay, if you're going to have a melee character, I can see how there's going to be some limitations, but not having hindering is going to hurt a melee character. It just does. But mind you, it is what it is. All right, my kind of allies. When establishing theme team characters on your starting force with armor keyword, gain the Spider-Man family keyword. Now, I know some of you are going to think to yourself, so what armor? But there are a lot of good characters with armor, and the fact that you can now make them Spider-Man family is pretty strong. And for my own personal belief, I wish that instead of making them Spider-Man family, it would just make armor keyword a theme team. That's all they had to do, is just make armor keyword a theme team, and that to me would have been a fair introduction. But anyway, you have Colin from the Spider-Verse, and you also have Martyred by Bishop Osborne. When Gwen of Arc is KO'd by an opposing attack, after resolutions, heal all the friendly characters equal to the damage she was dealt. So if your opponent deals like 6 damage at the end, then yeah, you can heal all friendly characters 6 damage. So that would be great. You want to set her up that she just her taking a major hit like mid to late game as like a sacrifice is not bad. It's not great, super great either, but if you've been peppered with damage and your opponent hasn't been able to commit in, sacrificing her or at least forcing her down your opponent's throat is not a bad deal. She has leadership, and when she succeeds, when a friendly character hits this turn after resolution, remove an action token from them. So she has some other good synergy with the Reign of Terror. The Reign of Terror map bonus. So that's something else you might want to think about. Then you have Leonardo da Venom. My kind to allies when establishing theme teams characters on your starting force with scientists, keyword, gang, Spider-Man family. This is meta. I think the only downside is that he's 90 points. But there's more than enough scientist stuff. Like I don't have to talk about the rest of him. I realistically don't. Now, the problem I will say is he has a 4 range, and that's his biggest downfall. He has the Venovian Man flurry, plasticity, shape change. When Leonardo da Venom makes an attack roll of doubles and hits, choose one. The attack is a critical hit, or after resolutions, unequip all equipped characters to a hit target. Now, this is not bad. This is not great, but this is not bad. So I like to just point that out. Smartest Man of the Age, Outwit, Perplex. When an opposing character uses Outwit or Perplex, their maximum range is 4. So this brings a lot of different characters sort of under control. Because you can't reach out there and get those long range perplexes off. So, if I think about his utility, he has a lot of utility. I think the thing that is going to hold him back is the fact that his range is 4. But in Golden Age, there's a sniper rifle for you. And I think that's going to be great. So overall, like, again, he's meta. So, like, all the chases are meta. Now, I take that back. I forgot. I didn't see the second starting point. So you could play him at 60, and I think this is where you're going to see him 90% of the time, and this makes him completely worth it for all the shenanigans that he does. All right, next up is Miles West. He makes Police, Spider-Man family. And as a figure, I think Miles West is great. I like his Fastest Webs in the West, Miles West. This is the Miles West. And adjacent friendly characters can use shape change, but only for ranged attacks. When Miles West or an adjacent friendly character uses shape change that succeeds after resolution, give the attacker a web gun token. No guns in my town. Characters with a web gun token can't make ranged attacks and have power remove all web gun tokens from this character. Protected Pulse Wave. So, that is very nice because you're able to shut down a lot of different, you're able to shut down a lot of different base teams using Miles West. And the fact that your opponent may have to rely more on melee characters or in particular just killing him outright. I think that's a huge deal. Because having your entire team, with shape change is, or sorry, adjacent friendly characters, not your entire team. Adjacent friendly characters with shape change can be a bit strong. And when they are successful with shape change, giving them those web tokens just allows for a layer of oppression on top of them. So Miles West is good. Again, he has a decent range. He has PD ability. He has Spider-Man team ability. So like he's going to see some uses. He's also unique. And I think and rightfully so because of hold up, wait. Nope, I'm looking at Hammer Eye, my bad. Miles West is not unique. But so, you know, playing two of him is not horrible because, again, as long as they have those tokens on them, it can be quite oppressive. So, actually, give me a second. Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right, yeah. So yeah, overall, like I said, Miles West is great. Improved movement ignores elevated and hindering. So getting to where you want to go with this character to take those shots, yeah, I think that he has some really good meta potential. All right, next is Spider Hammerite. Perfect points, 60 points. He is movement elevated and hindering. This is exactly what you needed. He's able to make martial arts keyword Spider-Man family. Okay, there's a lot of good figures with that. It's Cronin hunting season. Okay, I guess instead of Ronin, it's Cronin. Yeah. Blaze Claw's Fangs at the beginning. Sorry about that. After... Whoop, sorry, I lost my place. Blaze Claw's Fangs. At the beginning of the game, choose an opposing character or team ability. Make a close attack, but only to target the chosen character or a character using the chosen team ability. So the fact that you get a free swipe on people is good. All right. Next up is the call for Spider-Verse. We already know what that is. Bushido Honor. Combat reflexes. If Spider Hammerite is adjacent to exactly one opposing character and neither is adjacent to any other characters, other characters can't be moved or placed adjacent to either of them and can't target either of them. So, I want to point out a couple of interesting things. Interesting thing number one, you being able to lock down a character to sort of fight you and that you can't get a taxi away is big. Okay. And I don't think a lot of folks understand how big that is. Because you could lock down any size base character with Bushido Honor right there. So yeah, like any size-based character. That's number one. So there becomes a certain degree of frustration that can come into play. Number two, you could depending on the placement, you could limit colossal retaliation. I'm not saying it's guaranteed in every situation, but you could put your opponent in a very bad situation. Definitely when you're dealing with 2x2s or tight corridors or even, 2x2s or even, I think it's like 2x4, 2x4 or 3x6. So, yeah, like there's a lot of dumb stuff that can happen with that. So is this broken? No. Is this strong? Yes. Is he unstoppable? No. But I do think that a lot of people should definitely check that out. All right. Then we're going to go to Spider-Man 1776. This dude is dumb. I need to just do a show about him and just have my teammates on and we talk. Because My problem with 1776 is that if you move the game down to a 2-action total game without a roll, and I'm making this clear, without a roll, and it's automatic, you functionally make this an autoplay because action economy is too strong in this game. Okay, the fact that I have the game has given me multiple things to increase my action economy above, and I want to make this clear, above 3 on a consistent non-roll basis creates massive problems and it creates massive problems in terms of balance. And I understand how 1776 comes in and balances that out. But you shouldn't have allowed it in the first place. Okay? You should not have allowed it in the first place. And therein lies the rub. Okay? And so 1776 fixes a problem that shouldn't have existed. And I will be honest with you, is primarily brought to you by Justice League. And even before Justice League, current with Dr. Fates, we have Power Woman, and we also had these starter Justice League members, and so it's there, and Justice League functionally is more designed currently to spam you than it is to, how can I put it, than to lay single game ending attacks, which I think is a positive thing. But 1776 does not crush that because of Dr. Fate. I can get to +6, +7 actions easily with the Justice League team. What this crushes is the standard team when you start talking double 1776. And this is where I feel the future is going. Double 1776, and you are saying to your opponent, I have 4 actions, you have 2 actions, let's go. Which unfortunately just makes your opponent either say, I'm building a team that can function on 2 actions, or I am building a team that is 6, 7 actions. You took away 2, I still have 5. This doesn't affect me much. That's it. So, unfortunately, 1776 is the linchpin of where our problems lie in this game going forward. But I'm going to give credit to Wesley Allen Summers. And he said something in our conversation. And he said, look, we have a crap ton of autonomous. Well, he didn't say exactly like that. He said it a little bit more refined than that. And if we're playing the way that we are now, I have autonomous characters moving in a turn. And I have plus actions. There has to be a counterbalance for this action economy that we're getting. And I understand that. Unfortunately, access to widespread plus actions is relatively limited. And I think that's part of the issue. So we have to have some conversations and figure some stuff out about where are we sitting on action economy, what's it doing, why is it doing it, and what's good for the game and what's not. And I think until we have that conversation, we're going to have some very frustrating games going on for the next 6 months to a year. Unless WizKids has a plan to deal with Spider-Man 1776. And if they do, okay, I want to see what it is. All right, next up is Spider-Pharaoh. Spider-Pharaoh. Makes all your rulers Spider-Man family. Calling help from the Spider-Verse. Passenger 3. Empower enhancement, leadership, probability control. 60 points. Mega support. That's it. So it's a good character to have. There we go. Spider Viking. Make all of your, pirate or warrior Spider-Man family. Great. All right, cool. Plunder for my web. Colossal stamina. Steel energy. When Spider Viking KOs an opposing character and an equipment is dropped, after resolution, he may equip it. He would unequip any current equipment to do so. Now, that's not the best. It's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. Because you have to make sure that he scores the KO. And if he doesn't, you know. All right, so then you have Berserker Rage. Toughness, Spider Viking makes a maximum of takes a maximum of 1 damage from ranged attacks. All right, great. That's it. That's not that great. Oh, cool. I have Exploit Weakness. Goodbye. So, also, it's not protected outwit, so you could just outwit that and just shoot him. So, overall, he sits lower on the gotta get him, but Next is Steampunk Penny, and you're playing her at 45 points. Like, let's not front. Congratulations, Tri-Sentinel is now a Spider-Man family. That actually did happen in the comics, so yeah. This is probably, for the game, the worst thing that could happen. The worst thing that could happen. And now you can now open up levels of spam that shouldn't exist. So, for your reading pleasure, and for your this is dumb pleasure, I like to introduce you to Dark Logos, spitballing a sort of dumb meta team. I run Steampunk Penny. I run Bastion. I run 2 Tri-Sentinels. Okay. And then I can run approximately 2 Mary Janes and 2 Marvellas. So that puts me at +8. And that's not a horrible team. That puts me at... Yeah, so let me go through this again just to make sure that I'm not completely tripping. All right, so Penny. Bastion at 100, so that's 145. 2 Tri-Sentinels, so that's 4, so that's 205. Yeah, so that's 205. 2 Mary Janes. So, yep, 205. So then that puts me up another 30 because they're 15. So that is 235. And then 2 Marvellas because they're 15 as well. So that puts me up to 265. So that's +8. I have 40 points for gear, or I can swap in or out one of the Mary Janes for another Spider-Man character. And if push came to shove, let's just look real quick. Actually, skip that. I can swap out a Mary Jane and to play a Mazo at low. Or I can try to find like a prop or something. Like, and again, this is just me joking around. I can even play Isaac. All right, to make this again just as dumb. Okay, congratulations. All of this is Spider-Man family. Have fun dealing with my free autonomous pogs that I'm going to send out there. My free autonomous Mary Janes that are just going to be annoying. Okay, because I'm going to just generate autonomous pogs. Also, the fact that you kill my autonomous pog, no matter how annoying they are, I'm going to initiate colossal retaliation on you. I have multiple sources of barrier because, again, I'm going to swap in for Isaac because now I have another barrier. So just screw you. I have all the barrier. And I can free make sentinels every turn with my leadership to just out action you. Now, and I just want to make this clear. This team just spawns BS, and it's a theme team, and it should never happen. And I just threw that off the top of my head, and that's not optimized. It's not maximized. It doesn't necessarily have all of the things that you need. You know, you might want to say like Dark Logos. You can't have two Mary Janes. Just run one, and then run one Mary Jane. Then go with the extra Marvella, and then or blah 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 whatever. Okay, you get what I mean. And so we're looking at pieces and stuff that was never meant to work together. And I don't think that they reviewed how dumb Penny is. I don't think anyone did that. And because of that, it creates massive problems. So, yeah. And if someone's like, well, Dark Logos, I could just add in Spider-Man and have hypersonic speed on there, and I could do that. Like, yeah, you could. Yes, you can. You know, like, I don't see where Penny was thought through. I don't see where she was thought through healthily. And because of that, I want to slap WizKids. I really want to slap WizKids. Specifically for her, I don't think she deserved a 45 point. She needed to stay at 65 points. And that's not even dealing with her Perplex. And her Perplex is pretty good. Unique modifier: when Steampunk Penny uses Perplex to target another friendly character with the Spider-Man family keyword and doesn't choose damage, you may roll a d6. Instead, modify the chosen value by half her result. I roll a 3. Guess what? Your attack is +2. I roll a 5. Guess what? Your defense is +3. And she is a wild card. So she's a mega support at 45 points. Oh, I also have super strength. And I ignore characters and elevators, so I can always get away. And oh, hey guys, I'm in Dom plus plasticity, so I can get away from you, but you can't get away from me. So when it's kamikaze time, and I need to take one for the team, like I said, there's a lot of issues with Penny, and the fact that you're able to introduce Tri-Sentinel to more theme teams is concerning. Like, Tri-Sentinel, in my opinion, his keywords balanced him out. Robot was not that strong before Tri-Sentinel. Sentinel needs Tri-Sentinel. Okay, I'm staring at 4 on my shelf right now. I'm a believer of Tri-Sentinel. Okay. It just hurts. It just hurts so much to see this piece. And she's the key chase. She is the best chase. So I hope you enjoy it. If you also have Brainiacs, congratulations. Robot is probably approaching the strong, becoming the strong. Oh, nope, it's not. It's Spider-Man family. Spider-Man family, because you got co-opted. Spider-Man family is the strongest keyword. Okay, real quick, we're going to review the equipment. Pumpkin bombs. Energy explosion with minimum range value of 4 knockback, but only during ranged attacks. This character can be given range destroy actions regardless of their damage value. That's pretty good. You can destroy a wall if you have a 2 damage, so that's fine. Alright, so that's nice. Illusion generator. Shape change when this character uses it and succeeds after resolution. Generate an illusion bystander. That's great. Definitely when you combine that with Miles West. So, yeah. Oh, hey. Because again, Miles West says when an adjacent friendly character uses shape change. Did not say from what source. Okay, so illusion generator. Great. Dimensional watch. Phasing teleport when this character hits an opposing character. If no character has been placed this turn, after resolutions, you may roll a d6. 3 through 6, place another friendly character with the Spider-Man family keyword adjacent. Light object. Yay. So you could just teleport your entire team. Anybody from your standard meta team across the map. Because we're all Spider-Man family now. Carnage symbiote. Yeah, plasticity shape change. When this character KOs an opposing character after resolutions, heal 1 click. If that character has Codex, heal 3 clicks instead. That's a big deal. I think the Carnage symbiote is not going to see play until the other symbiote retires. Realistically, like, this isn't enough. I want this for Carnage, and I want this for my Red Goblin, but that's about it. All black, the Necro Sword. Yeah, this is the hero that we need for this shenanigan. The cost is high, but I think is necessary. Giant Reach 2, when this character makes a close attack, opposing characters can't use shape change or super senses and can't reduce damage below 1 heavy object. Yeah, like, this is the hero that we need. So, yeah, no rollouts for you outside of Impervious. Garbage can. This character can't be added to your force, only generated. So that's only for your Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and Waldo arms. Giant Reach 2, at the beginning of your turn, you may roll a d6 that this character has the listed effect until your next turn. 1 through 2, modify attack and defense by +1. 3 through 4, incapacitate as free. 5 through 6, free. Make a close attack, heavy object. Yeah, it's pretty good overall. 10 points for what you get, though. I'm a little shaky on that. Okay, just a little bit, but overall, it is not bad. Yeah, overall, this set, looking at it, and I'm just going to hit my show all on realms of all the characters that I think that are good. Just a quick review. So we're going to go Iron Man, Venom, Carnage Minion, Toxin, Harry Osborn, Mary Jane Watson, Eddie Brock, Peter Parker, Aaron Davis, Steel Serpent, Hammerhead, Norman Osborn, Gwen Stacy, Flash Thompson, Jason Macendale, Daniel Beckhart, Agent Venom, She-Venom, Green Goblin, Mysterio, Marvella, definitely Marvella, Iron Patriot, Hobgoblin, Spot, Absolute Carnage, Null, Doppelganger, Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man, Venom Captain Marvel, Venom Doctor Strange, Venom Groot, Red Goblin, Spider-Man 2099, Gwen of Arc, Leonardo da Venom, Miles West, Spider Hammer-Eye, Spider-Man 1776, Spider Pharaoh, Spider Vikings, Steampunk Penny, and yeah, that's the list for, I would tell you, to get from this set. Overall, I gotta give this set, probably, I know a lot of folks are going to be like, oh, he's going to say this. I'm going to give this set a B. And you're going to say Dark Logos. You were heads over heels with Fantastic Four. why are you giving this set a B? And I think the main reason is this. When we start looking at the distribution of utility, there is a lot of cheap utility in this set. And there is a lot of Mother May I in this set. And there is some hard to kill in this set. But, and I want to make this clear, but overall, these are characters that are not necessarily building a direction on their own. This is a set full of support. This is a support set, okay? And you can look at it from the use of team abilities. You can look at it from the traits. You can look at it from a majority of the special powers that are used. This is a support set. The only characters in this set that I'm like, yo, man, I can build a team starting with you for my major attacker or for how you work as a piece. Not just I can adopt everybody in my Spider-Man family keyword, but legitimately is Absolute Carnage, Null, Venom Captain Marvel, and Venom Groot. That's it. That's it. And even with Venom Groot, I'm going to need to have another chase. Another chase to do what I want to make that whole entire thing pop off. And I'm going to need at least 3 Venom Groots. I just want to make that clear. I need at least 3 Venom Groots. Okay, so overall, is this horrible? No. But I think this creates a whole different era of play. Because 1776 is nice, but 1776, I can't, let me rephrase this. I can build teams around 1776, double 1776, to lock down my opponent. But I cannot build around 1776 as an attacker. Okay? 1776 realistically is chilling as safely as possible until I've whittled down my opponent and then he goes into attack. Like, that's it. And I can see people, like, this is the worst team that you can do with 1776. And it's still frustrating. Double 1776 Dark Side. Dark Side. Yeah, just right there. That's the worst, and that's scary. How are you going to how are you going to chip through Dark Side with 2 actions? Or hey, here's another scary thought. 1776 in double Captain Marvel. Double Captain Marvel. Yeah. Chip through that with 2 actions. Just do it. I have 4, you have 2. Like, and that's a problem. And I'm not saying, woo, it's the best team. Because it's not. But it is a frustratingly hard to deal with team for an average player. For a competitive player, they can get around it. Okay? And you could say, like, well, Dark Logos, you have no retail. I'm like, well, okay, cool. Do you want to drop one of the Captain Marvels, and then I put in, I think, what is it? Steampunk Penny? Steampunk Penny in a Tri-Sentinel? And I'm a theme team. I think I'm a theme team at that stage. And just give me a hot second to check. Because 1776 makes all soldiers Spider-Man family. Okay. And Captain Marvel, super rare Captain Marvel, where are you at? Is a soldier. So, yeah, at 95 points, I add in Steampunk Penny. I'm a freaking theme team. Oh, I can add in probably a Marvella. Just to be a dick. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. So yeah, Captain Marvel. Go back over here. I'm gonna put in a Tri-Sentinel. Okay, we're gonna add that Tri-Sentinel. Bam. All right, now we're gonna add in 1776. Add him. Bam. At 50, we're going to add another one. Bam. Then we're going to add in Penny. Yep, Steampunk Penny. Bam. That puts us at 270. I'm going to get Marvella. Marvella is 15 points to Marvellas. Bam. Go suck it. That's a theme team. Go suck it. Okay? And again, is this the most efficient? It's not. It's not the most efficient. But it is full on stupid. It's full on stupid. And I could just drop the Marvellas and add in another Tri-Sentinel. If I really wanted to. Or I could drop yeah, I could drop Marvella. Yeah, I could drop both of the Marvellas, and I can add in something else that just fits my flavor. Okay? But the point of the matter is this is dumb. And this shouldn't this should not be a theme team. This should just be some jank that someone just thought was funny. So WizKids, I like what you were doing when you said, here are figures that make generic keywords theme teams. And so you have to play this one figure and they sort of say, hey, this makes it a theme team, which I feel was a step in the right direction because to overcome the limitations of a generic theme team, you had to specifically play that piece. But when you create a way, and I'll also say this, I didn't have so much a problem when you had like a Welcome to the Legion, Welcome to the Avengers type thing, where you could adopt, or to Welcome to the X-Men type things, where you could adopt a certain point character into your team. I didn't have a problem with that because you're only bringing one character over. But the fact that I'm able to cross streams, okay, cross streams ridiculously is a problem. Because even, let's just say, I did not care about Tri-Sentinel. And with 1776, and let's just say I have a Soldier Colossal Retaliator for Modern, or I have a Celebrity Colossal Retaliator for Modern. I don't even have to play Penny. I could drop Steampunk Penny, drop Tri-Sentinel. So, boom, I'm going to do boop and boop. Okay. And I'm at 225. And I could just put any number of Soldier any number of Soldier or Celebrity Retaliators on there, if you ever made them, which at this stage, I hope you don't. So, yeah, this is the world we're in, people. This is the world we're in. I think this set is a B set. Is it worth your money? Yes. Is it worth investing heavy in? that's up to you. But if I was telling anybody anything at this stage, I would just say whatever you're going to do, save up all your money, buy Steampunk Penny and double 1776, and then wait a month and a half for everything to crash on the market. Everything else on the 1776 and then 3 Venom Groots. Everything else you could just wait. It's all going to crash. Those things are going to be significantly broken. So, all right, that's it for today's show. You can follow me on Twitter at StartOverPod. It came from outer space and told me, man, that Venom Group pollen will get you. It's killer, son. At the same time, its vines offer healing mass to your wounded soul. You can follow me, like I said, at StartOverPod. You can email me at startoverpodcast@gmail.com. That's startoverpodcast@gmail.com if you wish to opine. Keep it piffy, keep it interesting, keep it awesome, baby. Let me know what you think of the set. Am I wrong? Is this a top tier set? I said there was a lot of characters that were good. You can put them in the comments below. Is this a top tier set? I'm sort of meh. I don't think it is. I think there's a lot of good stuff in it. I don't think there's a top tier set. I think this is a very casual, friendly set. I think this is a lot of filling your team set, but I don't think this is a top tier set. The equipment is nice, but it may age better. It may age better. I know I have some teammates that might end up crapping on me for saying that, but it may age better. And last but not least, if you want to donate to the show, you can go over to startingoverpodcast.blogspot.com. That's startingoverpodcast.blogspot.com. And you can donate to the show. Anything you donate to the show goes directly to making the show better. All right, I'd like to thank you all for listening. I got this done in an hour and 40-something minutes, so yay. So thank you for listening.